destruction of Dwarika along with all its inhabitants and the departure of Krishna from the mortal world, the deeply grief-stricken Pandavas resolved to rebuild the city. The son of Jaratkumar was considered a suitable candidate for the throne. Eventually, the Pandavas renounced worldly affairs, devoted themselves to deep penance and attained liberation. After the rift with Krishna, the Pandavas remained unaware of the tragic events that had unfolded in Dwarika. Suddenly, Jaratkumar arrived at their court and narrated the entire sequence of devastating AAI 3/4 AA. Shocked and grief-stricken, all the Pandavas, along with Kunti, set out for Dwarika, found it reduced to ashes. Witnessing the ruined state of Dwarika, Kunti was overwhelmed with shock, as there was no trace of life anywhere. Questions haunted them: where had Krishna queens and their children gone? Even the mighty Krishna was no more, leaving Balram alone in profound grief. On seeing Kunti, Balram felt a brief sense of solace, but he was too distraught to accept the reality of Krishna's trademark symbol as death and was consumed by intense anguish. Eventually, it was resolved to rebuild the once glorious Dwarika. With the support of local people and their close allies, the Pandavas undertook the task with dedication. Gradually, though at a slow pace, the city began to regain its form. A considerable amount of time was spent rebuilding Dwarika, gradually restoring it to its desired form and structure. To ensure effective administration and governance of the region, a capable leader was appointed, that was the son of Jaratkumar, who was duly crowned as the king of Dwarika. After residing in Dwarika for a significant period, the Pandavas prepared to depart. As they journeyed onward, they were deeply immersed in contemplation about the mysteries of mortal existence. Traveling a great distance, they eventually reached Pallavdesh, where the divine Samosran of Bhagwan Neminath was being held atop a mountain. Upon entering, they offered their reverent prayers and humbly inquired about their past lives. Bhagwan Neminath then vividly narrated the sequence of their past lives, unfolding events with such clarity as though they were scenes from a moving picture. The entire chain of occurrences, as referenced in earlier narratives, was thus revealed. Readers and listeners are encouraged to follow the earlier parts presented in the playlist for a deeper understanding, where these events have been described in an engaging and insightful manner. The Pandavas, along with the senior members of their family, mentally prepared themselves to renounce worldly life and undertake penance. With this resolve, they returned to their kingdoms and entrusted the responsibilities of governance to their children. After ensuring that everything was properly arranged, they proceeded to the Samvasaran and humbly requested Bhagwan to grant them Diksha, initiation. All the queens, including Kunti, also sought initiation under Arika Rajmati Raju. In accordance with tradition, They plucked out their hair by hand and adopted the attire and discipline of munis and arikas. They spent a considerable period listening to profound spiritual teachings and engaging deeply in penance. Over time, they resolved to wander from place to place, spreading knowledge among people while intensifying their spiritual practices. During their spiritual journey, the Pandavas reached Shatrunjay-giri. Through rigorous penance, they developed the strength to endure severe hardships, upsarga, inflicted by others, steadily enhancing their capacity for tolerance and spiritual endurance. Knowing that the Pandavas were deeply absorbed in penance, the nephew of Duryodhan arrived at Shatrunjay-giri in Saurashtra Desh. Observing them steadfast in their austerities and maintaining complete composure, he perceived it as the perfect opportunity for revenge, believing they would not react under any circumstances. This nephew, named Kurmundhar, resolved to inflict the harshest possible suffering, confident that the Pandavas would not abandon their penance under any condition. With this intent, he devised a cruel plan and had 16 types of ornaments crafted from steel for each Pandav. These ornaments were heated until they glowed red-hot, almost aflame. Each Pandav was then adorned with these 16 red-hot steel ornament sayuro earrings, a necklace, anklets, a waist belt, armlets, a crown for the forehead, and rings for the fingers. As these blazing ornaments touched their bodies, their flesh burned intensely, as if wood set on fire. Thick, dark smoke arose from their bodies, spreading all around and enveloping the surroundings in complete darkness. Kurmundhar, overwhelmed by fear at the scene, fled from the place. As a consequence of his cruel intentions and actions, Karman Yamraj consigned him to the seventh hell, the realm of the most severe and prolonged suffering. Meanwhile, the Pandavas endured immense physical agony, yet they maintained perfect composure, neither expressing nor internally experiencing any disturbance. Even in such extreme adversity, they remained firmly established in mental equanimity. They deeply contemplated that it is merely one form of matter consuming another, and that the soul itself remains untouched and eternal. Through such elevated understanding, they remained completely undisturbed. In a rare and extraordinary event, 3 of the Pandavas simultaneously attained Keval Gyan, omniscient knowledge, and liberation. Upon witnessing this, celestial beings assembled, offered reverence, and listened to the essence of Dharma before respectfully departing. Bhagwan Yudhishthir, Bhim, and Arjun attained moksha, freeing themselves from the cycle of birth and death. Nakul and Sahdev were elevated to the highest heavenly state as Himendra Devas and are destined to attain moksha in their next birth. Arika, Kunti, Subhadra, Draupadi, and others also attained celestial abodes. Through their intense penance, they broke the cycle associated with female birth, and in their next lives, they will be reborn as males and soon achieve moksha. Inspired by Bhagwan, the Pandavas resolved to undertake penance, along with the other elders, to attain moksha. Despite enduring extreme suffering inflicted by the nephew of Duryodhan, they remained steadfast in their spiritual pursuit. Ultimately, they achieved moksha, while the others attained heavenly abodes.